Yeah, but again, you know, what other modern country would that go over, where everything can be, this is God's, this is God's? Did you see Michelle Bachmann, we found out last week? Every decision she's made in her life is because God told her to do it. She wasn't in love with her husband. She didn't want to go to law school. She didn't want to run for Congress. She thinks God is talking to her. You know, when I was a kid, if someone thought God was talking to them, you called Bellevue.
You're an apatheist.
That's a term I stole from somebody.
This is an apathetic atheist, right?
It's a combination of apathy and atheist, yes. I don't know what happens when you die, and I don't care. No one is ever going to know.
But your first thing is you were raised by an Irish Catholic, and yet you became Jewish. Is that right?
No, that's not right at all.
Is it bordering on
No.
any form of accuracy?
No. My mother was Jewish. My father was Catholic. Like many mixed marriages, especially of that era, they picked one. It was Catholic, and I was raised Catholic. I was never Jewish. I've never set foot in a temple.
So you're still a Catholic in your eyes?
Of course not.
An atheist.
Who's writing these cards
Catholic
for you? What is on this? I'm Bill Maher. Hello. Nice to meet you,
But
Piers.
did you stop becoming a Catholic?
Yes.
When?
Yes,
When
I'm
did you stop?
hopefully one of America's most famous atheists.
Yeah, but when did you? I mean, you're not an athist. You're an apatheist. There's a crucial distinction.
You know, it's very hard to there's atheist, there's agnostic people. You know, I'm okay with us not splitting the difference on those. If you're just not a super religious person, for me, you're on my team. It's very hard to say. Even Richard Dawkins in his book says, if we put it on a scale of 1 to 7, 1 being absolutely certain that there is a God, and 7 being absolutely certain that there is no God, even I'm only a 6.9. He says, because we just don't know
Where are
ultimately.
you on that list?
I'm with him, a 6.9.
So there's a tiny fragment of you thinks there might be.
Well, as he says, it could be God, or it could be a spaghetti monster out there. I mean, that's... But again, the apathy, we just don't think about it.
How did your parents react to your apatheism?
Well, I mean, you know, when I was a kid, we went to church. When you're young, you don't, you know, I was scared to death of the whole process, and it was all I could do to just keep it together in church and catechism and those things we did. When I was a young teenager, thankfully, my father stopped going to church, and that was the end of it. I was no longer any sort of Catholic. Then I went for many years where I really didn't think about religion all that much. I kind of, you know, believed in God because, like a lot of people, it was like when I was in trouble, I would just bargain with him. Oh, God, if you get me out of this, I promise I will quit smoking. You know, stuff like that.
Do you still do any of that? Do you
No.
ever pray?
And at a certain point, praying. No, praying is trying to telepathically communicate with an imaginary friend. I wouldn't do that. Of course not. Atheists don't pray. So, you know, for the past 15 or 20, I don't know how long it is, you know, that's been my view, is that...
If you had prayed, would you have prayed for the kind of news cycle we've had from Wienergate to Schwarzenegger Gate?
It has been... It's if there was a God for comedians...